Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning how to run the dimensions for the template drawing. This is a conclusion video to the single view drawing series. And there's quite a few dimensions going on here, so it might be a good idea to do a lesson and show students what they need to do things correctly. So to begin, we're going to make sure that ortho is turned on. And we're going to start with our linear dimension tool in the annotation toolbar. And we're going to begin by running this dimension here. Now you can go in any order you like. As long as the end result is good, that's all we care about. So this first dimension comes out 12. So I'm going to run another linear dimension from here. Snap that one right in line with the 28. Right click, repeat. From here to the center line. Right click, repeat. And from here to the center line. Very easy. Alright, we have a 16 dimension. We're going to repeat. We're going to run from here. We're going to snap that right in line with the edge of the arrowhead, and we're going to come out 12 millimeters. We also have some dimensions to run on the right side, so we're going to right click, repeat dim linear. Bring this one out 12, and then right click, repeat, and run this dimension. Same thing on the top. Right click, repeat. We've got the 72 dimension here. So we're going to snap it in line with the part as you were shown and come up 12 millimeters. Now this 20 dimension on this side, right click, dim linear. Here's a review of something I showed you in dimensioning the reversing washers. I'm not going to snap this one in line. I'm just going to come over here and touch the endpoint snap here. And that is going to bring it totally in line with the 72. Right click again, repeat dim linear. I don't need another 20. We're going from... Well, actually, I'm going to leave that 29 alone for now, and there's a reason for that. So I'm going to do the 150 dimension. I'm going to bring this right in line with the part. And because this is the third stack, it's going to be 12 plus 10 plus 10, so it's going to be 32. So I'm saving myself some room here to put that 29 in later. All right, continuing on, we have the 49 dimension. Snap that one in line, come up 12. And we also have this 11. And we have the dimensions on the left side as well. So repeat dim linear. We have this one to here. We're going to snap that one in line with this vertical line and come out 12. And the other two will be as easy as pie because we're just going to copy that reference point. Okay, so that takes care of almost every linear dimension on this drawing. At this stage, I'm going to just to eliminate some contrast, I'm going to start throwing what I have on the dimension layer already. Dimensions. Got it. All right. So we have an aligned dimension here, and this is something that we did on the Eye of the Eagle drawing. So we're going to grab aligned. We're going to grab the midpoint, and then we're going to find perpendicular, and we're going to click that perpendicular line again. Snap, I should say, and we're going to have our 11 dimension put in place exactly where it needs to be. And we also have the 45 degrees and the 30 degree angles to do. So we're going to grab the angular dimension, pick the angular line and the horizontal line, and we're going to pull this until the arrowheads come in on the inside, like that, 45 degrees. We also have a repeat dim linear because we're going to do the 30 degree angle. So same thing, we're going to just drop it as soon as those arrows become inside, like that. Like I said, angular dimensions may not line up exactly with my drawing, but as long as they appear as the way they need to be and they're close enough, that's all that counts. Now, some of these other ones are going to be a little more tricky, and this is also a review of the reversing washers drawing when we had to do the bevels on the left and right hand sides. So I'm just going to take a moment and throw all this on dimension layer. Keeping in mind I can't hit escape key. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is draw some lines. So we're going to grab the line command. I'm going to draw a line at this endpoint, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to O-track it. This is something I showed you earlier in the previous lesson. Right click, repeat line, snap to endpoint, touch, O-track. This one here, I'm just going to bring it out to look similar to the image on the iPad. I don't really know how long it is exactly. I'm just going to guess the length of this line. As long as it looks okay, it's good enough. That one. We also have another one that we're going to have to do here. And another one here. Just looking to see what I've done on my screen so I can try to copy it as best as I can. There's no point to make it go super long. We also have another one here. This is part of the reason I left that linear dimension out earlier. All right. So now we're ready to run some angular lines. Actually, I've forgotten one. Sorry, there's one down here. Have that one come to about here. Okay. So now I believe I have them all. Okay. So what we're going to do is grab our angular dimension, which is already set. We're going to select it. We're going to select this line and this line. And we've got our 15 degrees here. Repeat. We've got this one. That 15 degrees. Want to make sure that that degree symbol doesn't sit right on that center line. So we want to make sure it's a little off to the left, like this. We've got another one of those up here. and we have a 45 degrees here. We'll try to snap that arrow typically in line with where this one sits. Like that. All right. So that should be everything except that dimension, which we'll do in a second. So we're going to select all these. Place them on dimensions. And one of the last things we have to do is we have to modify that extension line, because we're basically faking this extension line into this drawing. We have to grip them all. And remember, we have to pull them in 2 millimeters so they look like the other extension lines that run naturally in the drawing. So this is a very important first step. I mean, it's not a first step, but it's one of the last steps. This will cost you marks if you don't do it, especially on a test. So we're just going around doing this. We're going to have to do the same thing here. I've forgotten this dimension. See, there's so many dimensions on this drawing. This one has got a lot. It's easy to forget. So we're going to run this one. We've got the 15 degrees. Actually, I'm going to leave that one out for now. I'm going to run the linear from here to here. So this one snaps to here. This one's going to come up 22. Okay, so we've gripped it 2 millimeters. We also have one last angular dimension, which is here. Okay, and that can sit there. That's how that looks on the sheet. So that is good. We're going to select this line, and this dimension. Put them on dimension layers. And we have it. All right, that is it. I'm just going to take one quick pan around here and make sure I haven't forgotten something, so I don't look silly. Okay, I think everything looks fine. So this appears as it does on the iPad sheet. So the last thing we have to do, fill in the title block, which is a very important step. On a test, this would give you 10 marks, just being able to fill this in. Template. I strive to make these naturally centered, so you don't have to really modify them. You may have to modify your name. I don't know if anyone has done this at this point. Me, I'm the drawing creator. Checked by. Mr. Valens checks my work, except if it doesn't want to go on one line like this, you can just stretch this arrow here and it'll bring it up on one line. And of course this needs to be centered. So if ortho was on, and even if you're typing your own name and your own name is off to the side and it's not centered, of course mine is because I created this title block, but if I pick this, again, hit the move, and just eyeball this a little bit to be a little more centered, and that will get you full marks. So the date today is September 17th, 20th year. The scale is 1:1. All these drawings are 1:1 scale. And this is our third drawing. So it is 201-03. And if I wanted, I could probably just center this a touch too. Like that. So that concludes the template. That is your full dimensioning lesson. It incorporates a lot of review from what we already know, but this one has a ton of dimensions on it. So I think it's great that I was able to kind of go through it, and even I forget them from time to time as I go through this. So you really have to take a look at this and make sure you're getting everything done as per the instructions or the reference page on the iPad. So that is it for single view drawings. Now a test will be administered soon, but I will be giving you advance notice of when the test will be. So watch out for that. And next up is orthographic projection drawings. So until that time, take care, good luck with this, and talk to you later.